Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's write some more Leetcode today. Today we're solving minimum domino rotations for equal row. So this problem states that we will be given two rows of dominoes, which one will be called tops and one will be called bottoms, and that we are able to rotate the dominoes at tops and bottoms if they're within the same index. And our goal is to make either all the values in tops the same or all the values in bottoms the same. And we want to return the minimum number of rotations to make that happen. And if it cannot be done, then we return -1. So if we look at this example, we can make two rotations and then the tops will be all 2. So we will swap here and swap here. And that's 2 rotations, so we return 2. So now that we have seen some examples, let's get to how we can solve this problem. So basically what we can do is we can check if we can make all elements equal to the first element. If not, we want to check if we can make all elements equal to this first index of the bottom element. And notice that if we cannot match this one or this one, then we can return -1 right away because we will need these elements in these ones either way. But we know that one of these indexes will not contain the first element and we will need that. So no need to check if we cannot find a match for the first element in top nor bottom, and we can return -1 right away. Also, another note, if we can find a match to make all elements equal to the top element at index 0, then we don't need to check for bottom, because if we look here, let's say we want to make all elements equal to 5 and we know that the minimum number of rotations we need is 2. We will switch these two and these two. We don't need to check bottom because we know even if we can make everything equal to 2, it will take 2 rotations as well. So we can return 2 already if we can find a match for top. So what we can do is we will iterate through these pairings, and first we'll try to see if we can make everything equal to the top. And what we will do is as we iterate through each, if we don't find a pairing, we return -1 right away. If we do find a pairing, then if the pairing here is not equal to the top, then we will increment the top here. And if it's not equal in the bottom array, then we will increment the bottom. And if they're both equal, then we don't increment at all and just move on to the next iteration until we come to the end. So let's go through this example real quick. So first we start in the beginning. We're checking for 5 and 2 is not equal, so we'll have to increase bottom by 1. And now we come here. Both of these are not equal to 5, so we return -1 temporarily, and then we'll check if we can find a match for bottom. So we see that top is not equal to bottom, so increment top by 1. Moving here, still not equal, so we need to increment top again because we have to flip again if we want this to be all 2s. Now we come here, we see that bottom's not equal, so we need to increment bottom by 1 because we need to flip this to make this all 2s. Increment the top by 1, increment bottom by 1, and since both of these are equal to 2, we don't need to do any flipping. And now that we have come to the end, bottom is less than top, so the minimum rotations we need will be 2, so we can return 2 as our result. So the time complexity would be O of n because we will need to look through n elements, and the space complexity would be O of 1 because we are not using any extra space. So now let's get to the coding part. So first we can check if we can make everything equal to top row, so we'll make a check function which I'll define later, but if the result we return does not equal to -1, then we can return result right away. Otherwise, we will check the bottom. So check bottoms of 0, and we'll call it define check, and we'll put x as parameter, and we'll initiate top and bottom at 0 for the increment. And now we will loop through the length of tops or bottoms, doesn't matter, it's the same length. And if both elements do not equal to x, which is the number we're looking for, then we can return -1 right away. Otherwise, if it does not equal to top in the top row, then we will increment top by 1. And if that is the case in the bottoms array, then we need to increment bottom by 1. And then we will return the minimum between bottom and top at the very end. All right, let's see if it works. Okay, perfect. Hope this was helpful. Thank you all for watching. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave it in the comments section, and I hope to see you all again soon.